Howdy, folks, and a warm welcome back to the Deep Dive.
It's good to be here.
Gather around now, whether you're maybe looking out over Dale Hollow Lake this morning or sitting on your porch up near Standing Stone State Park.
Beautiful country around here.
So,
really makes you think.
It sure does. And that's kind of what we're fixing to do today. Think about life's big questions. Consider this us panning for gold, sifting through some powerful ideas to find those real shiny nuggets.
Nuggets of wisdom. I like that.
Yeah. Our mission today is to uncover some timeless wisdom from a fella who started out kind of like folks around here and see how those ideas might help you make life right here in Overton County even better.
And these aren't just theories from some book. These are notes from motivational teachings, practical stuff.
Ideas that really change lives. So let's jump right in.
Let's do it.
Our source talks about, well, 5 major pieces to the life puzzle. 5 main parts for a successful life. Now just ponder that a minute. What really makes life valuable, worthwhile? What makes it work for you right here in Overton County?
Well, his mentor told him something pretty profound. Said something like, about a half dozen things usually make 80% of the difference.
Half dozen things, 80%. Wow.
Yeah. It kind of tells you to focus, right? Don't get bogged down. Think about farming. Maybe a few key practices really make the difference in your crop yield. Or maybe a handful of principles for keeping a family strong.
That makes a lot of sense.
See?
Focus on the big stuff. And the very first piece he talks about, it's your philosophy.
Your personal philosophy.
Exactly. Now, this ain't about dusty old philosophy books you might find somewhere.
No.
This is about you using your own mind to figure out what you want, to shape your dreams, your goals, your plans. It's like your personal roadmap for life, right here in Pickett or maybe Fentress County.
And what's really incredible, he points out, is that we humans, well, we can change our philosophy anytime.
Anytime. Unlike animals, just running on instinct, folks here in Overton County can choose their own path. Doesn't matter what your circumstances look like right now.
That's real power right there, the power of choice.
So, how do you build this philosophy? He breaks it down 2 steps. First, gathering knowledge.
Learning.
Yeah, learning. From school, sure, but also from books, maybe stopping by the Livingston City Library and just watching life unfold around Cookeville. Being observant.
He even says something like being uninformed, being stupid, he calls it, can hold you back worse than being broke.
Oof, that hits home. Knowledge is key.
It really is. Then the second step is deciding what's valuable.
Okay, what does that mean exactly?
It means figuring out what truly matters to you. In your job, with your family, in the community, you got to discern. He puts it plain. If it's valuable, you put in your money, time, and effort.
Simple as that. Puts things in perspective. If it matters, invest in it.
Exactly.
All right, so that's philosophy. What's the second piece?
The second piece is learning from experience, both your own and other people's.
Okay, let's start with your own experience. We all make mistakes, right? Lord knows I have.
We sure do. The key, he says, is to actually learn from them. He tells a funny story about being told, if things ain't working out after a while, I suggest you not do that anymore.
Huh. Sounds simple, but it's true. Don't keep banging your head against the same wall for years on end. Learn the lesson.
Learn and adjust. But then there's learning from other people's experiences. That's huge, too.
You bet. Mentors, speakers, just listening to folks' stories. Paying attention.
Yeah, listening can save you a whole lot of trouble. Maybe you're learning from someone who built a business up over in Jamestown, or someone who navigated tough times.
You learn from their successes, sure, but maybe even more from their failures, right?
Absolutely. He even uses the Bible as an example here, full of examples to follow and warnings to heed, wisdom passed down.
So soak it all in. Don't reinvent the wheel if you don't have to.
Precisely. Tap into that collective wisdom.
Okay, piece number 3. This one feels big. It's the power of change and taking responsibility.
Yeah, this is core stuff. His mentor gave him a line that it changed everything for him. He said, if you'll change, everything will change for you.
Yeah. Let that sink in, folks. If you will change.
Everything will change for you. It shifts the focus, doesn't it? Away from blaming, the government down in Nashville or the economy or your neighbors.
Right. It puts the power right back in your own hands. Change your mindset, change your decisions, change yourself.
It's all about personal responsibility, taking ownership.
Yeah. And he follows that up, saying, if you don't make plans of your own, guess what?
Uh-oh.
You'll probably always fit into someone else's plans.
Ouch. That's a wake-up call. Don't just drift.
Exactly. Be self-motivated, be self-educated. Look, he says it himself, He was just a farm boy raised in obscurity.
Yes.
And if he could turn things around,
Then why not you?
why not you? There's no excuse, really.
His own story is powerful proof.
Okay, fourth piece. This one's kind of sneaky. The danger of neglect.
Yes. The small things.
Yeah. Think about those little disciplines you ought to do, like maybe taking a walk around the block every evening, or eating an apple instead of that candy bar.
Things that are, as he says, easy to do.
But also,
Easy not to do, and that's the rub.
right, and you let those little neglects stack up day after day, week after week.
And pretty soon you look around and you're not driving what you want, not living where you want, not feeling how you want. It's the accumulation.
It's the small neglects that lead to the big regrets down the road. Powerful reminder.
It truly is. Consistency matters in both directions.
All right, fifth major piece, the importance of reading and learning.
Oh, he's passionate about this one.
He sure is. Says it plain. Read all the books. I got no substitute for reading all the books.
Build a personal library. He says you can tell a serious student by their library and their journals.
Journals, yeah, he stresses that too. Don't trust your memory. Jot it all down. Keep track of the ideas.
Because what you don't read won't help. It seems obvious, but
But we forget. And he says, the book you miss might cost you a fortune. Not just money, but opportunities, insights.
the cost of not knowing, it's huge.
He draws a line, too, between formal education, schooling to get a job, and self-education.
Which he says is how you make your fortune, how you build a truly rich life in every sense.
So keep learning. And if reason's a struggle for you, he says, well, work on it. Get better. It's that crucial.
Lifelong learning, it's not optional for growth.
Now, tied into all this is something else he emphasizes.
Yeah.
Who you hang around with. Association.
Oh, yeah. The influence of your circle. Big time.
He gives you 3 questions to ask yourself, real hard questions. First, who am I around? Just take stock.
Second, what are they doing to me? What's their influence, their talk, their habits?
Yeah. And third, is that okay? Is that influence helping you or hurting you, getting you closer to where you want to be or pulling you back? Think about your friends, your neighbors, right here in Overton County.
It's critical self-awareness. Your environment shapes you more than you might realize.
And based on those answers, he suggests you got to make some choices.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you need to disassociate, put some distance between you and the wrong influences.
Sometimes that's necessary. Or maybe it's limited association. Be friendly, but keep it brief. Don't soak in negativity.
And then there's expanded association. Go find the good ones.
Actively seek out the positive people, the miracle workers, he calls them. The folks with that no-problem attitude.
Surround yourself with people who lift you up. Makes sense.
Got to be intentional about who gets your time and energy.
So you got your philosophy, you're learning, taking responsibility, avoiding neglect, reading, associating right. What's next?
Okay.
Action.
Got to do something. All the thinking in the world won't help if you don't act.
His formula is simple. Do what you can and do the best you can.
Start where you are with what you have. Don't wait for perfect conditions or some, flash of revelation.
Right. Just start. He uses the example of eating an apple a day.
Mm-hmm.
Small step. Doable.
Do what you can.
Yeah.
And then do the best you can with that action.
What does that lead to?
Well, doing your best leads to skill because repetition is the mother of skills. You get better by doing.
Okay. Practice makes perfect. Or at least better.
And skill leads to better performance, which leads to results. It's a cycle.
And you got to measure those results, right? Keep track.
Absolutely. Check in at the end of the day, the end of the week, definitely every 90 days. Are you making progress?
He references that fig tree story from the Bible. Results are key. And the parable of the talents, you got to do something with what you're given. Multiply it.
Leads him to suggest having an at least list, your non-negotiable minimum actions each day or week.
An at least list. I like that. Builds consistency.
It really does. It ensures you're always moving forward, even if it's just a little.
Okay, that ties right into setting goals. Performance needs direction.
Yep. And the process is simple again. Decide what you want.
Step 1, be clear.
Step 2, decide what you must do to get it. Break it down.
Step 3, keep track. Keep those lists.
And step 4, check things off as you do them. That feels good.
It does. Set serious goals, but also smaller ones. Keep the momentum going.
And here's a really powerful insight he shares about goals. Like, say your goal is to become a millionaire.
Okay, big goal.
The real value, he says, isn't just the $1 million. It's for what it will make of you to achieve it.
It's the journey, the growth, the skills you learn, the knowledge, the character you build.
Exactly. What's valuable in life is what you become. That's the real prize.
So you got to ask yourself, right here in Overton County, working your job, raising your family, what am I becoming here?
Deep question. Are your goals pushing you to grow? Are they high enough?
He warns against setting them too low and avoiding those easy crowds where there's no challenge.
And definitely don't sell out your values for what looks like a game. He uses the story of Judas trading integrity for silver. That never ends well.
No, because he says the greatest source of unhappiness is self-unhappiness. Being disappointed in yourself. That's the worst.
Living out of alignment with who you want to be, it eats at you.
Okay, but life ain't all sunshine and roses.
Yeah.
Right. There's negativity. How do you deal with that?
Well, first, acknowledge it. He says, negative is normal. It's part of the deal. Don't pretend it didn't exist.
Because if you ignore it,
They'll take your garden. Negativity will creep in and take over if you let it. It has to be mastered or conquered.
mastered or conquered. Okay.
He talks about the opposites in life. Negative and positive, love and hate, good and evil. We're kind of caught in the middle as humans.
You got to be prepared for both sides.
Yeah. He uses a metaphor, building with a trowel in one hand, but keeping a sword ready in the other to fight off the bad stuff.
Build and defend. Got it. And he points out some internal enemies we got to fight too.
Oh, yeah. Indifference, that, oh, let it slide attitude, he calls it tragic.
Indecision too. The thief of opportunity. Just not making a choice.
Doubt, worry, and overcaution, being too timid to act.
Those are battles we fight inside ourselves every day, huh?
Gotta do battle with your enemy, he says. Recognize him and fight back.
But it's not just about fighting the bad. It's also about embracing the good, right? Positive emotions.
Absolutely. Decision itself is positive. Desire, really wanting something better, and especially resolve.
Resolve. What's that mean exactly?
Promising yourself you will never give up. That inner grit, that determination.
Powerful stuff. Never give up.
He gives a little formula, should, could, will.
Yeah.
Moving from knowing you should do something, realizing you could do it, to finally declaring, I will.
I will. That's the commitment.
And use the word until. Keep at it until it's done. Read until you find the answer. Exercise until you're healthy. Persist.
Until. That's a key word for persistence.
It really is.
So he kind of wraps it all up by challenging us to live an extraordinary life.
Yeah, he poses these 4 questions. Simple but profound. Why not see? Why not see more? Experience more?
Why not do? Why not do more? Achieve more?
Why not have more of the good things life offers?
And maybe the biggest one, why not become? Why not become more than you are right now?
And then he turns it right back on the listener. On you. Why not you?
Yeah, he uses himself again. If this farm boy could do it.
Why not you? Don't let your background or where you started be an excuse.
He even mentions Mark Hughes, the founder of Herbalife, another story of overcoming huge odds. It's possible.
It is possible. Then he adds one last personal suggestion.
Which is?
Ask for God's help. But right away, he adds,
You got to do your part too.
exactly. Can't just pray for a harvest and not plant the seeds. Like a gardener, partnering with God.
Aha!
You do the work, trust for the increase.
Do your part. That brings it all together.
It does. It's a message of empowerment, but also partnership.
So that's the heart of it, folks. These ideas. The power to change your life, it really is inside you. Right here, right now, in Overton County.
The potential is there.
So here's a little something to chew on this week. A call to action, if you will. Pick just one thing from this whole deep dive. Just one idea.
Don't get overwhelmed. Just one.
Maybe it's reading one chapter of a useful book down at the Livingston Library. Maybe it's finally having that important conversation with a family member you've been putting off. Or maybe just setting one small, reachable goal for this week.
Something concrete.
Try it out. See how it feels. And then maybe tell a neighbor or friend about it. Let's encourage each other. Let's lift each other up right here in our community.
That one small step could be the start of something big.
And hey, if any of these ideas kind of resonated with you today, if they sat right, we'd sure appreciate it if you'd tap that like button down below.
Let us know what you think in the comments. We love hearing from y'all.
And be sure to subscribe so you don't miss our next deep dive. We're always looking for knowledge that can make a real difference in your life.
Our aim is always to bring you stuff that's meaningful, but also practical. Things you can actually use.
Yeah, that's right. So from the hills and hollers right here in Overton County, we're sending out the warmest southern blessing to you and yours.
Stay well and keep growing.
Y'all take good care now.